Hi there guys, and welcome back to the second part of the Quickscope tutorial for beginners. You hopefully watched part 1, so you already have the correct setup of your sniper class, you know what quickscoping means, you saw the different kinds of quickscoping, and you know the mechanic of quickscoping. The biggest problem for beginners is the accuracy, that you need to point at your target as fast as possible before you can initiate a quickscope shot. That's why our first objective is to reduce the scope time that you need for shooting. Why that? Because a quickscope is also defined by the time it takes to pull up the rifle and shoot. Remember the scene from the first part of this tutorial? A correct quickscope takes less than half a second. Let's have a look at this chart. The less scope time you need to hit your target, the higher is your accuracy. Logically consistent. That means a scope time higher than a second is a hard scope. A scope time between 1 second and half a second is a drag scope, and in less than half a second is a real quickscope. Let's watch some examples.
Squad member ready for duty. Night owl ready. Squad member ready for duty.
They're moving in the starboard!
Oracle ready for activation. Friendly or
So, the first lesson will be to get routine in hard scoping, no matter if the target stands still or is on the move. The more routine you get, the more your scope time will decrease automatically. And this means you have to practice this. Another important thing for successful scoping is the adjustment of the sensitivity. Every player has his own sensitivity. Well-experienced quickscopers turn their sensitivity up to 15. The effect is that they can turn around very fast with the left stick and also aim faster with the right stick. But as a beginner, this would be really counterproductive. You will for sure feel like in a swing carousel and won't be able at all to locate your target in the middle of the scope. So I recommend the sensitivity between 3 and a maximum of 5 for beginners. I choose 5 because I'm using a controller attachment called Control Freaks that can be applied on top of the sticks for additional length to make the control of my movements more precisely. Okay, now let's go back to work. For the first lesson we won't compete with other persons in a multiplayer online match, we will fight against and with bots. To set up a match we choose private match. In the game setup we will look for a good map like Warhawk. I like this map. This map isn't too big. You have enough, I call it, meeting points to practice scoping. This is the only change we make here. Now you will have to set up a quickscoping class. Again, you will have to do this in this menu because this is an editor only for private matches. I already did this earlier and you know the setup from the first part of the tutorial, so I will skip this part and return to the menu. Next we need some squad members for support and of course some opponents to deal with. 3 buddies and 8 opponents will work fine for you. I'm playing on regular difficulty, but I would recommend to choose recruit for you. And then let's start the match. And here we go. Of course we don't wait somewhere in a corner for our opponents to pass by and shoot them, because we want to become quickscopers and quickscopers play offensive, so that's why we are searching our enemies. Okay, so no camping allowed. There are a few basics for quickscoping and you should practice it right now. For example, in this short clip there's one special moment. It's the moment before the sniper scopes up. He stops walking. Always. Just for a few moments, but whenever he scopes up, he stops walking. This is necessary because if you walk or if you run, any kill would really be random. Usually you won't hit your opponent. So never walk or run while scoping. Spot your enemy, aim, stop, scope, shoot. So let me show you what I mean in the following clips. I'm stopping, aiming, shooting.
Oracle ready for activation.
The next tip I've got for you is don't use the scope to search your enemies on the battlefield. Try to spot them before you scope. This will decrease the scoping time a lot. Remember the graphic we saw a few minutes ago. The less time we need for scoping, the higher is our accuracy. And if we spot our enemy early enough, we can save plenty of time to scope. So, on our road to become a Quickscoper, our objective is to decrease the scoping time. That means try to move the barrel of your gun as close as possible to the opponent and then scope up. If you practice like this, you will soon realize that you become faster and faster. Like in the first kill cams of this match, it will no longer take you more than 1.5 seconds for a shot. And after a while it will take you less than a second, like in the kill cams after tip number 2. And finally you will scope in less than a second, like in the last kill cams. Perhaps you were already successful with a few track scopes. If you keep on practicing, you will soon hit your targets with quickscopes. Then feel free to increase the difficulty of the enemy bots. If you achieve some positive kill death rates on regular difficulty, go and try out your skills in a multiplayer online match. But don't be frustrated if your kill death rates are negative. A match against real opponents is completely different than against bots. Sometimes you have good squad members and sometimes not. If necessary, come back and play some private matches against the bots. Okay, we're at the end of the Quickscope tutorial for beginners and you are now an apprentice. Keep on exercising and most important, have fun. I'm wishing you the best and I hope I could help you on your way to become a Quickscoper. If you enjoyed this and the first tutorial, please leave a like or write a comment. Hope to see you again. Bye bye, have a good time.